Hopefully these temperatures stay mild enough to keep our electric bills down. And for more on that, we go to Studio 61 where Keith McGilvery is standing by.
Matt Scott, I like where your head is at. Yes, energy costs of the winter months can be a pain on everyone's pocketbook, particularly with natural gas prices being so high lately. The president and CEO of PowerOptions, Cynthia Arcate, is here to help us out. Cynthia, first time on the show. We appreciate your stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
For folks who are not familiar with your organization, tell us who you are and what you do.
So PowerOptions is a energy buying consortium for nonprofits in cities and towns. That's all we work with. We are a nonprofit ourselves. So what we do is go out and negotiate on behalf of them good pricing and contracts for electricity, natural gas, and solar. And that way the customers don't have to take on that burden themselves. They save money, and they get the buying power of a large group of people buying in the market.
And so, yeah, when you say that, we know in our own homes, we like to keep those bills down because we have different expenses, but you're working with these nonprofits, and if they're able to save in one area, they're able to do some real good work.
Absolutely. That's the whole idea here, is the savings they have, they can invest in their own missions, and that's our mission.
All right, and kind of talk to me about the scope of organizations that you're working with.
So we have everything from the largest hospitals and universities. We started out in Massachusetts 20 years ago. We're actually the largest buying group in New England because we have these large institutions, and right down to churches, YMCAs, social service agencies. Here in Connecticut, we just started expanding. So, for example, the San Juan Center in Hartford is one of our members. And to celebrate our 20th anniversary, we gave away 20 $10,000 checks this year, and one of them went to the San Juan Center in Hartford.
What are you hearing about natural gas prices? What's your take on all of this?
Well, natural gas prices have kind of spiked up recently, and it's largely for the reason that we hit a cold snap, and when the weather gets colder, then natural gas prices go up. The other factor that's involved here is that 50% of the electricity that's generated in New England comes from natural gas. So it's kind of almost a double whammy on consumers because then electricity prices go up at the same time.
You have a couple suggestions here. We're going to get through as many of them as we can. Good for nonprofits, but I can see some of them helping me out as well. You say program your thermostats. Use programmable thermostats. Why is that so key?
Well, because obviously if you lower the temperature, you're not going to use as much energy, and a lot of people just sort of forget to do it when they go to bed or they go to work. So the thing about the programmable thermostat is that you set it, forget it, it'll just do it for you.
And you say check your heating and cooling system. I fear for a lot of people it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I take it that's not the stance you have.
Absolutely. No, you should definitely have it cleaned and checked every year, because if it's not cleaned and operating well, then it's going to use more energy.
And if folks have been using one system for a long time, this has really evolved quite a bit. There are more efficient models out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Most people just don't replace it till it breaks. And there's so many more efficient units now that you can buy, and actually utilities will give you rebates and incentives to do that. So it'll help with the cost to replace it with a high efficiency unit.
And you talk a lot, I mean, I've heard about this in a home, but nonprofits have properties as well. Good windows are important.
Yes, you lose a lot of energy through your windows. It's at least 10% of your energy gets lost through the windows. So if you put in high efficient units or windows, then you can save a lot of energy that way too. Cynthia,
a nonprofit who is watching at home, or somebody with a nonprofit, they're not involved with your group, what should they know? How do they find you?
So you can go to our website, PowerOptions.org, and we'd be happy to work with any nonprofit or city or town and help them save on energy.
All right. Well, we like anyone who can help us find a bargain, save some money is good in our book. We appreciate your stopping by.
Thank you.
All right.